Hi, I'm Joanie Marks, and welcome to a new episode of Aha Moments with Joanie. These are unscripted slices of life. And in my previous episodes, I've been talking about my bucket list vacation to Africa. It really wasn't a vacation, it is a monumental trip in the preparation and the things that I've learned. And I want to now conclude with what did I learn from the leopards? Leopards are an amazing predator. First of all, they hunt and live by themselves. So, as I was saying with the lions, they're always very mindful of not getting hurt. But if you live in a group setting and you get hurt, someone's there maybe to bring you a meal. Not so with the leopard. He has to be mindful of himself and he only has himself to rely on. And when I was in the Okavango Delta, I want to tell you about this one leopard. We met him early in the morning. This was like the first day that I was in the Okavango Delta, and I was there long enough days in a row that I got to know this one particular animal. And the reason I got to know him is because he didn't really move. And the reason he wasn't moving is because he didn't feel good. In fact, he was injured. He wasn't really sick, he was injured. And as the game driver who was there said to me, he is new in the area. He came from another territory to be in this territory. Obviously, he thought it was a better territory. There was more trees, there was going to be more food. But what happened to him was that he obviously had been in a fight to establish himself in this territory. He had a gash over his left eye, and he was limping with his left leg, front leg. And as Martin said to me, do you see how his chest, the skin on his chest is a little loose, like someone had been fighting and pulling on him. He also had like a big pull mark on his flank. So he was hanging out on this one tree, and leopards live in trees. Now they don't stay in the same tree; they move around. So he was in the tree. Then, as the day got hotter, he went down and dug himself a little hole at the base of the tree, at the trunk. And so, from basically when we met him on that day at 8:30 in the morning, we spent 3 hours watching him not feeling good. We went and had lunch. We came back. We spent the afternoon with him. And so, what I'm saying is how privileged I was over the course of the next 3 days to feel like I knew this animal, I knew what his circumstances were. And how do they heal themselves? Well, he did it by not moving. He just laid there, not feeling good. Nobody brought him a Tylenol. He just had to take care of himself. But he also was licking his wounds, especially up here. And there's a lot of antibiotic essence in their saliva. And over the 3 days, by the third day, virtually that scar was healed up. And so he then the next day he was a little livelier, but he was still hanging out by the tree. The third day he had moved to a very different tree and he was back up in one of the limbs looking out. And I think he was starting to think about was time to go find some dinner for himself because virtually he hadn't moved and he hadn't eaten anything in the 3 days that we knew about. But he had succeeded because he had established his territory. And I want to tell you what's so amazing about leopards is that when they kill a prey, such as an impala, which is an impala weighs anywhere from 85 to maybe even up to 150 pounds. Well, that's pretty much what a leopard weighs. At the low end, it could be 85 pounds. If it's a female, it could be as much as 150 pounds if it's a male leopard. And what do they do with their kill? I have seen them do this. They lay it under them, they hang on to the neck, and they walk this prey, their kill, up into these tall trees and then lean it over a big limb. And then they have food for about a week. Now, leopards don't care that it's not fresh. That's what they do. But think about the strength it takes in order to do that. So when we're talking about conservation, which is really the thrust of what I want to say to you, is that these animals know how to take care of themselves. He got himself over his injuries. He went about his life because on the fourth day I did not see him. So he was out and about looking for food. He didn't need to hang around a particular tree anymore. So that's how special it was that I got to see him. And he was quite fine that I was practically under his nose taking all these wonderful pictures of him. So what we've been talking about is the disappearance of the wildlife, even in Africa. And if we don't intercede, the only place you will see wildlife will be in a zoo, because the rest of them are all going to be killed off. So show your family pictures of the animals that you find interesting and learn about their life history so that you can pass on the love of wildlife as an integral part of the joy that you have by being alive in this world. And it will make all the difference. Your personal involvement, your personal care about how wildlife survives is really very much in your best interest for how you're going to enjoy and have the best life possible for yourself and your family. So remember that. And remember mostly to take good care of yourself and your family because you know how to do it, same way the leopard does. And every morning, look into your mirror, smile at yourself and say, I am my own best friend, for I came into this world to be myself. For that I came. Thank you and all my best.